Hello and welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show.
No, I'm teaching how to do. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show. In our studio
Not just
tonight.
enough, to another Just Enough Heshy.
To another Just
I
Enough
want them all
Heshy
to be.
Show.
Wow, Etty, you are tough to train, girl.
I know, you're right. It takes a few weeks.
So keep going.
I'll write it down.
You better.
Yeah, welcome. How are you, Heshy?
I am doing great. And who else is with us tonight?
We are here with the Hasidic rapper tonight.
He had an interview tonight with a
Yes.
radio, with Komavasa, and he even spoke about us.
Yeah,
Oh,
endorsed Just Enough
Nice.
Heshy. Not only Just Enough Heshy, Heshy Tishler himself, the one and only.
the one and only Heshy
Wonderful.
for councilman. Don't forget
Exactly.
that.
Well, we're going to talk about that. Anyways, everybody, you're welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can watch us live on Just Enough Heshy on Facebook, Just Enough Heshy on YouTube, and of course that's it, I think.
Listen on
And
the
on the
radio.
radio.
And if you want, and of course, on the radio, that's where they're listening to us. And what number do they call in, Etty?
They call 718-303-9090.
We only have an hour, Etty. You got to step on it. 718-303-9090. Give us a couple minutes to introduce our show.
Give us a call.
We have a lot to talk about tonight again, everybody. We have a lot of personal stuff. I have things to complain about my kids. I had a big fight with them.
I would
Oh,
love to
yeah,
hear
yeah.
that.
And because of the kids, I had a fight with Linda.
Oh, no.
And then what I did was I took away her phone, right? No, I didn't take it away. She lent it to me.
Right.
And I lost. I'll tell everybody how I lost my phone. And what happened was, I can't believe it. I'm sick. Without a telephone, I
Yeah.
lost my whole life.
I know.
I couldn't for 4 days. I didn't have a phone, so I begged her for the phone. And I'm trying to clean up. She has such a mess. You women don't even know how to use a cell phone.
Well, some of us do.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going through a phone, cleaning it up, and then I saw some old messages from when the kids got married. And then one of them insulted me to the other one. And we're on this chat that they had with my wife. And I was so angry. I said, Linda, don't mix in. You shouldn't be looking at it. And I forwarded it to them. And I said, I'm not talking to you, to the kids.
Well,
So she got angry,
yeah.
screamed at me. I screamed at her. I said, how could they talk to me like that? They respect me. I do everything for them. Anyway, she had a fight.
Kids are kids.
And then Linda told me she's leaving me. So I took down her suitcase. I said, back.
oh, my.
And then we just joked. She took away her cell phone and she
Right.
went to the bank.
Okay. All's well that ends well.
I always went there. And you know what?
Yeah.
24 hours later, she's calling me honey again. I said, didn't you just scream at me that you're leaving me, you crazy
Yeah.
woman? Wow, you women could just make
We
us.
can.
miserable. Yes,
Speaking
What
of
if
which-
Linda's listening? What if
What
she's
if-
listening?
she doesn't listen anymore.
And how is Meira doing?
Oh, so I want to give a shout out to my beautiful Mira Nava.
Mhm.
They didn't let us babysit her this week because she overheard.
Again with the fish or
Now
what?
with the fish, she
Oh.
said, "Oh, you're gonna feed her meat." I said, "I swear, I'm not gonna feed meat."
Mhm.
But you know that I'm lying.
Right.
Anyways, a shout out to my little friend Ellie, beautiful friend. He's a good man.
And shout out to my son, Ellie.
And
Good
Etty said,
boy.
and don't forget our friend Manya,
Manya.
who had a birthday, now has a granddaughter.
Another
Wow,
granddaughter.
Congratulations to you.
Yes.
Anyway, one more
Mazel
thing
tov.
before we start the show. So as you know, I'm running for councilman, and I'm
Mhm.
quiet, but it's still not a real race, and I'm going to be meeting some big spawn of Purim. They invited me to the house, and they
Oh.
have a big event, a big party there. And the big boys, if they endorse me and they say, let's go, we're going to raise the money. So I have to be prepared to speak. And it's a private meeting where there's going to be like a whole bunch of people there. So last night I went to a shaver because, after somebody gets married, you go to every single night to a dinner.
Right. 7
So
minutes.
one of these kids that I helped out that got married now that loves me with the father. So they invited me and I went by to say hello, like I do at all wedding events and so
That's
on. I go
nice
to
of
quite
you.
a bit. And it was a rough week. I had a funeral again Sunday for somebody that that lived in our neighborhood. And they called me up and said, Heshy, we heard that he's a cousin's relative of your wife's
need money?
father-in-law. And they said, Heshy, pay for it. And I told my son to go and he paid for the whole funeral. So my son, who was a
Wow.
What
good
a
boy,
huge
paid for it. I
thing.
mean, of course, I'm going to have to pay him back.
Okay, somebody
But
did a
Chesed
mitzvah.
Shel MS,
Yes.
a wonderful organization that I will help when I get elected, picked up the body. My son helped. We took him out again and we buried him. What a good organization.
Wow.
So anyway, so after this little thing, I went to this event last night. And I was
Mhm.
only going to go for 15 minutes, say hello. I sat down. The father came over to me. So I was sitting there for 15 minutes and they were making speeches in Yiddish. And you women, you talk and nobody's listening to the speeches. And everybody's talking and all the little kids are making fun of me. Oh, we remember you. We recognize you. So as I'm sitting there, the chassan, the groom, got up and says, Heshy, I want you to speak. I said, he says, no, we want the councilman to speak. I said, I'm not the councilman. We want you to speak because of you, I met my wife. I said, okay. And I got up. And all the women, for some reason, walked over to the divider, the chitza, this that separates the men and women, and they stood there and they're looking at me. And I don't do Yiddish, I do it in English. And I spoke for 15 minutes.
About what?
I gave them a story about the Holocaust. I gave them a story about marriage. I gave them a story, a little bit about this week's Torah. And I gave them some inspiration, and they were silent, quiet. And as I was talking and shouting and giving them, a speech, it was like a practice run for me.
Ooh.
And when I finished, I said, thank you. And I congratulated them. Everybody started crying. It's like one of these Bernie and Trump things. And I wish somebody would have videotaped it so I could have posted it. Like, look, everybody, I also have one of these crowds too.
You will. There'll be more than enough.
So, Etty, when you become my chief
Yes.
of staff, I want to make sure that you get me
Absolutely.
big crowds that cheer for me.
That's going to be the first thing on my list.
Let's
I know a videographer. Actually.
Let's start the show, everybody. As you know, we have Chamula Jewelers, a wonderful place. They go to their location at 944 Kings Highway, 718-336-1980, 718-336-1980. Chamula Jewelers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, specializing in diamond engagement rings, eternity bands, and just bringing your own jewelry to redesign and freshen up. Chamula Jewelers.
We've got the
Chamula
sparkle
Jewelers.
for you.
We've got the spot. Wow, you did it wonderfully, Etty. You are 2 points. 718, no raise. 718-336-1980, 718-336-1980. I take our show every week and I post it on Facebook and YouTube, and then they join me into a lot of groups, and I've been forwarding it. Some of the groups got angry, so now Facebook has banned me from posting it to groups.
Why?
Facebook is
Oh,
Democrats.
I don't know what's wrong with some of these
I
people in
don't
their groups.
know.
Like, they only want to see a message. Don't look.
Right.
Anyways, we have ttstyles.com, Tehila Tishler, 718-675-6842, 718-675-6842. Hair, wigs, makeup for all your wedding and party events. She makes you look beautiful. 718-775-6842.
She brings out the beauty in you.
You are doing great. She brings out the beauty in you. Etty, you just hitting it on the
Because
button.
I know Tehila, and I know that she does bring out the beauty in you. I've seen her work.
Very good.
So I'm being honest here. Yeah.
We have also technical difficulties. 1504 60th Street, 718-259-4593, 718-259-4593, 1504 60th Street. Avi Fleischer, by the way, I'm moving my office, and he's helping me set up everything you should see, because moving computers and cell phones, very complex. Now, I had my cell phone, just setting it up took me hours and hours, and I still don't know what I'm doing. Call up technical difficulties. Avi Fleischer, 718-259-4593. And of course, 777 Barbershop, 4225 18th Avenue.
I actually need a haircut.
Well, you should go there because
There
he
you go.
helps people with handicapped. He's good to senior citizens. He's a very good man. He could use the business. 777 Barbershop, 4225 18th Avenue on the corner of East 2nd and 18th Avenue. 718-484-2499 to make an appointment. 718-484-2499. And of course, we have Green Line Building Solutions. We're moving, but 202 to Foster Avenue soon. But right now, we're located at 5318 16th Avenue. Come in for your permits, your plans, your inspections, your vacate orders. Matter of fact, I had a vacate order on Monday. I passed, of course. I don't fail. Everybody's hoping I fail. Tuesday, I had a beautiful stop work order inspection. Today, I was off because I had to check the new office. Tomorrow, I'm going for a big stop work order inspection where the guys can't believe how I helped him, and his wife is pregnant, which I promised to get her moved in the next few months. Call Green Line Building Solutions.
Green Line Solution.
Grants, plans, permits, ECB violations. We do it all. We help you get everything done. 718-871-0382 for an appointment, or just walk in. 718-871-0382, located at 5318 16th Avenue for another month, corner of 16th Avenue, 54th Street. And of course, we have 2 hours of constituent services. And of course, we have Fallon's Corp. Wonderful lady, Faggy. Wonderful
Yes,
girl.
she
I know
is.
for many years. 3132 Bedford Avenue, located on the corner of Avenue J and Bedford Avenue, for all beautiful clothing for adults, teens, and children. Go to her, Fallon's Corp, 718-325-6667, 718-325-6667. She has late hours, or if you can't remember, just type in 718 Fallon's, Fallons,
Mhm.
and she's wonderful.
She
Wolf's
is.
Grocery Store,
Ah.
2362 Nostrand Avenue.
What's with that coffee?
Well, I'm going to tell you about it. Avenue J and Nostrand Avenue, 718-2 what is his number? 252-1863 from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 718-252-1863 Avenue J, Nostrand Avenue. Not only did he give me a coffee, not only did he give me a Danish,
Oh.
of the hot potato chips. He gave me
Hot
a bag.
potato, what's
Oh,
that?
it's wonderful.
Chips.
In the car, and I came back from an inspection. He throws it in my car. He says, "No, I want to pay." He says, "No, Heshy, I'm making you do this, and now I have to buy him something.
What are you going to buy him?
I have to buy him a bottle of liquor.
Well, Purim
call it
is
Purim,
coming
yeah.
up.
It is coming, right? I could use it for that. So I'm going
There
to
you
buy him
go.
this way. I'll get my coffee and stuff free. 718-252-1863. They make deliveries all day long, all week before Shabbos. Corner of Avenue J, Nostrand Avenue, 2362 Nostrand Avenue, Wolf's Grocery. Tell them Uncle Heshy sent you. And of course, we have $25 rent-a-car, the corner of 18th Avenue and Coney Island Avenue, 718-851-2000. They have minivans, cars for $25 a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Keep it to the end to help you get your money from your insurance company. Minivans, $35, 718-851-2000. And then, of course, we have Ideal Services. They do from soup to nuts. They give you waiters service. They give you chefs, bartenders, everything you need. 845-842-6228. He goes to all 5 boroughs. He goes to Muncie. Go give him a call. Ideal Services. Tell him Uncle Heshy sent you.
Uncle Heshy.
845-842-6228. You're a good color man. You know that? You're wonderful. I love you.
I love you too, Heshy. We all love you. We
Anyways,
really do.
We have a beautiful show tonight. Thank you everybody for listening. But as you know, we
Yeah.
have to start the show. I don't have to tell you guys because you're my regular co-host. So you're going to hear the quote and the joke of the day.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Ready.
And this is my quote of the day.
Mhm.
It's pretty much based for me. This is my thinking of it, and based with our new president, what I want, our president that is in office now, and what a
Renewed.
president should be. Leadership is someone who brings people together. It is amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit. Leader does not need to have the credit, even though, you know, I've been lately going around telling people what I do. I don't need the credit. Sure, we give a pat on the back, but I don't care if one of my other workers gets the credit or somebody says thank you to them. Give them the credit. Show them that they deserve it. You need a leader to delegate. And I actually have a great team around me, and I'm hoping when I run for election to build another great team. And this time I'm going to win because I'm going to have a great team. I thought I could do it all myself last time. I didn't. And this time I'm going to give proper delegation. Thank God I have you, Etty, right
But
now.
you know, Heshy,
Well-
sometimes you got to say a good story so someone learns from it, so he does something good.
Correct.
That's
And
why
I always
keep on telling us your good stories.
I
We
will.
want to hear
I
it.
will.
Thank
I will.
you,
And
Heshy.
it's very good. And I love you for that. You're a good man, and I love you for that. Anyways, let me tell you my joke of the day.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So, my son Avram, when he was a little boy, he went to school, and I got a call from the teacher that we were told everybody to write an essay, and Avram didn't write an essay at all.
Okay.
And she's very upset. He gave back. Everybody gave him 2 pages of words. He was like in 2nd grade, and he didn't want to fill anything out. He didn't want to make it 2nd or 3rd grade. I remember, and she was disappointed with him. And please talk to him about it. So Avram comes home, and I said, Avram, why didn't you? Everybody else wrote on their essay. Why didn't you write? Well, Avram says, listen. She told us to make a composition telling us what I would do with $1 million. So I sat there the whole time twiddling my thumbs. I said, but that's stupid, Avram. Why didn't you do it? She says, no, Ta. He says, that's what I would do if I had $1 million. You know what? That was a good answer, Avram. I was so proud of him after that. That boy got a raise in allowance.
Oh,
Smart
wow.
answer.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that is my boy.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to start a few things.
The
on this
elephant
show.
in the room.
We're gonna talk
Let's
about the
address it.
coronavirus.
Yeah.
Very, very bad.
Yeah.
And what's going on. But you know what I heard?
What?
Which you're gonna take a call right now, Etty. I heard that in the summertime when the weather gets better and when the summer does not affect the coronavirus. Let's take a phone call. Hello, you're on there with Heshy
Hello.
and the Hasidic
Hello.
rapper.
Hello, good evening,
Eddie.
Big H. Big H, Eddie, and guest.
I love you, Eddie. How are you, my boy?
All right. Listen, this morning I was listening to a talk radio show that I listened to in the morning, and there was something that you might be interested in. There was a lady on, I believe she was Orthodox Jewish. I think the name was Allison Joseph, if you know her. And she said that she was concerned with anti-Semitism and that there was some kind of a rally tomorrow. I think she called it a pop-up. And the quote was, meet a Jew in the city.
Yeah,
And
I
it
heard
was,
about that.
Okay, yeah, and tomorrow is 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., 42nd Street between 2nd and 3rd. So perhaps some of your listeners might be interested.
Tell us
Very
about
good.
it.
But I want you to know something. The city of New York, I mean, this is something that I was just reading about, and this is something interesting at the end, Eddie. And I'm not too happy about it, but again, I'd like to hear your opinion about it. That the city of New York is going to implement 100 new cameras around the city for anti-Semitism. 100 surveillance cameras are coming to Brooklyn to combat anti-Semitism hate crimes. Number one, how does that work? And two, is that good? Now they're going to follow even if you're not an anti-Semite.
That's right.
Again, they're just finding a way to put new stuff in.
I suspect.
And you know what? Another thing, they're coming up with new legislation that just got approved, that people now in the back seat of your car have to wear a seatbelt. Not that they care about our safety, that when a cop pulls you over, I'm giving you a ticket no matter what. There's no way to win. I mean, are we going to just stop these crazy laws? I wish I was elected, because I would not let this happen. I don't know, Eddie.
I think if any of these laws could save even one life, that it's worth it.
No, Etty, I have no problem with that.
Right.
The point is we understand seatbelts in the front seat. I understand the airbags, but again, the back seat now. Yeah, I understand the kid under 9, but in the back seat, you don't need a seatbelt.
Tremendous impact. You do need one. It's proven.
But
again, why do they make them in the back then?
Okay,
your life, your choice, maybe.
And the cameras. It sounds like, they want to police us and all of that and be big brother and check up on everyone. But then again, if it can help stave off an attack on anybody, any minority or anybody,
Etty,
why not?
The Constitution says simple. I want you to have the life and the pursuit of happiness,
Okay.
and to do it in a freedom kind of a way, at your own freedom.
Yeah.
You're telling me I can't smoke in my house. You're telling me I can't do certain things in my own neighborhood. You're telling me I have to wear seatbelts. You're telling me I can't cross against the red light. I understand it's dangerous, but you're giving me a ticket. You're taxing me to death. You're telling me that since Bloomberg on thank God that idiot Bloomberg is.
Yes, that was very good, Heshy.
Oh, God help me. But you know what Bloomberg's thing was to his pitch to become president? That and I don't have a problem with that. That the black people were abused and 400 years of slavery.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make it up to them. What about the Jews in the concentration camps? What about all the people in Cuba that have been tortured all the years that came here? We can go right down the list of many different the Muslim people.
There's no way.
Most Muslim people that are not in the crazy countries that are living here. We abuse them. We're prejudiced to them, and we have hate against them. And again, why aren't they getting reparations? And their lieutenants and their police officers and their sanitation officers. But again, our hate for people is just so terrible. It's just crazy, Eddie, and I don't know what to do.
But the only thing is, that could be a stalking horse, Heshy. They would use the cameras for that, but then before you know it, they'd be using it for all. Who knows? They can give you a ticket for jaywalking.
I know that, and you know what? This new law that's coming into effect October, that when you're idling your car, somebody can videotape it. Now they can Photoshop that videotape or whatever they could do to it. And what happens now? You get a ticket for idling your car. And did you idle it? Are you warming it up? I mean, it's just nonstop craziness. Forget this. De Blasio, thank God he's leaving. 70% wanted to tax us instead of 30%. And then, it just
from what I've heard, the people that are looking to take his place are worse. Jermaine Williams, Corey Johnson.
Right.
In other words, we may be going from the frying pan to the fire.
I know. And there's nobody to stand up. Like, look at Nadler. Nadler, you don't hear from him anymore because he has nothing better what to do. Schumer is so bored with himself. He
got in trouble today.
Yeah, you know what? He started to not Roberts.
No. The two new conservative, Garland and Kavanaugh, and Chief Justice Roberts rebuked him in public.
Right, because this guy is just bored with himself, trying to find trouble. He wants to be majority leader, and we liked him for a while, but Schumer has just lost his thing. Like, the Democratic Party. I have no problem they're running for election. They're not running on any major platforms. Here's what you constantly hear over and over on CNN and all of them. All we want to do is beat Trump. That's your answer?
Yep.
To get Trump out? That's not a reason to become president of the United States.
That's all their reasons. That's why Bloomberg's in it.
Bloomberg is out. And now you have Bernie Sanders with his crazy, even though he keeps preaching the same thing, everybody says, well, he's consistent. But he's a consistent idiot. I mean, the man really belongs. I believe, did you ever see the way he speaks? I think he belongs in a mental hospital.
Yeah.
The man
Possible.
is not a normal man with this. And Warren, who's now the most powerful third place Democrat, because whoever endorses pretty much wins.
She came in third in voting yesterday in her own state.
Right.
Yeah.
I want you to know, even though everybody says, I was talking to the Hasidic rapper, he says, oh, Bernie lost all over. Bernie did not
Won
lose.
Colorado and Vermont.
Forget what he won.
Well,
You have to understand at the end of the
yes.
day, out of the 4,000 delegates, all you need is 1,991
Yes.
delegates to win the thing.
right.
So it doesn't
Nominee.
make a difference when you win. And then there's super delegates. So there's a whole bunch of ways for Bernie to still win this race without winning all the elections.
Except that the powers to be don't want him. That's why they got Buttigieg, made a deal with him.
But they
got
didn't-
rid of him.
they didn't
and
want-
Klobuchar.
They didn't want Hillary last time, and she got it. They didn't because Hillary last time. So I just want you to know something. Biden, even though he had a big win, he has 435 delegates. Bernie Sanders has 381.
Yeah.
He's only about 50 delegates behind. So you're talking a couple of serious wins with big states, and he can have
That's
a convention that gets broken. And Bernie, not only can he win the election, he can even be make a deal to be vice president. That is terrible.
Yes.
There's going to be many
But
more of these.
Warren is supposed to give her delegates to Sanders. Instead, she might go to Biden, which is the only.
That's right, for a political deal, Heshy.
Right.
That's the way it works.
Payoffs.
And she's another
Mhm.
winner. I don't know. I don't mind politics, but we need people to stand up and run. Today I was talking to a lady, Heshy, why do you need this? You do enough good. Why do you need to get into politics? I'll tell them why. And like I was preaching to people today in my office, this is unacceptable that we allow $160 million to disappear in special education for students, and we don't have accounting for it. We let the Department of Buildings run rampant and change laws without permission. We let the mayor, we let the budget being spent money. We give $43 million to one community, but not to another community. Why? Because they're more depressed. Everybody has the same issues. Every community's got it. We need help all over, but you pick and choose whoever can give you back your votes. And our politicians sit there scared. Why? Because they want to be reelected. They want to get on a bigger committee. They want to be the head of the criminal justice. They want to be promoted up. And this is my point to you. And I'm going to tell you, Eddie, simple before we take the next caller. I'm running for councilman because I don't need anything. I'm running for councilman because I want to change. I care. I care about the people that die. I go to events. I'm not elected. I've been doing it for 35 years. Somebody saw me in the hospital yesterday and said to me, Heshy, I can't really believe you're here. I said, I'm just nobody. I'm giving out some blankets and then soup, whatever you need, if I can help you. She says, no, but you always say you're here, and I actually see you. I said, this is what I do. And I've been doing it for 35 years. Nothing changes because I want to be a politician or better. I want to know where my councilman is. And Etty, where is my councilman? What's his number?
He's sitting right across from me, but the one right now is Carmen Yeager. Anybody want to reach out to him with any complaints or anything?
But she
you
doesn't
need
pick
to
up
say?
the phones anyways.
His phone number is 718-853-2704. He's located at 4424 16th Avenue. Go
If
pay him
you have a
visit.
big event, he'll come to it. But if you have something small, he won't come to it. If you have a problem in the community, he won't do it. Just call him up. Maybe he'll pick up your call after 85 calls.
Yes.
If you remember, Heshy, I suggested that people call their assembly member. I call my assembly member and my Senate. They're both, unfortunately, Democrats. and about the plastic bags, but more especially the cash bail, because I know that's going to continue, Heshy.
You know what? Yesterday, there was a story with a bus driver that a lady, that he ran out. There was a video of the bus driver chasing the lady and he spit on her. So today he was on the news and he says, you know what? I was very angry. She kept hitting me on the bus and spit at me. He says, don't you think I'm a man? He says, you're right. I should have controlled myself and drove away. So she didn't end up pressing charges on him.
Really?
The MTA fired him or suspended him, but she really did it first.
Wow.
But we, again, don't understand about stupidity like this. Again, our politicians don't think it's a big enough thing to get involved with. And this poor bus driver is going to suffer because of something. But again, he can make any accusation he wanted. But there are witnesses that she did spit on him and hit him. And again, because they caught him on video, boom, he's dead. And there's not going to be, and she's not arresting him because all he has to do is press charges on her, and she's finished as well.
That's
I
so
don't know.
sad.
Eddie, I want you to know my senator is nowhere to be found, Mr. Felder. But next year you're going to see the councilman, and this year you're going to see councilmen and everything, because it's an election year. They're going to raise money to make a nice little a parade, not a parade, with these little arcade games and rides.
Carnival.
The carnival. They didn't have it this year because it's not an election year.
Right.
So
True.
we'll have it next year, but don't worry about it. I'm going to be there. I have a nice piece of corner property that somebody's going to give me, and I'm going to have a big barbecue for all of you to come to.
I want to come.
Eddie.
One more stupid question to you.
Okay.
Here's my thing.
Oh, Jesse, your joke was funny.
I love you, Eddie.
I said so too.
Everybody laughed this week. This is finally getting there. But anyways, Eddie, coronavirus. They're saying, first of all, I know it's bad in China, and I know but they're telling me that it's pretty much based that the people are dying if they're older and they have an underlying disease.
They're weak already.
Right.
Poor people
So they're saying that if when the summer comes, today I was talking to a doctor, he says when the summer comes like a flu, the coronavirus is dead.
Well,
The heat stops it. So he says, yeah, we got to make it. That's why I'm hoping that, thank God today, the stock market went back up another 1,100 points.
Mhm.
The people who lost money made some money today. And I'm telling you, believe in your country, guys. And that's it. Eddie, you're wonderful.
Talk to you next week.
Okay. See you next week.
Tell your wife hello.
Take care.
Let's take another caller,
Bye, Eddie.
Let's take another caller. This is one of my favorite men. Hello, how are you?
Hi, this is Heshy. How's it going?
I love you, Heshy. You are a good man. I know you're going to scream at me. Heshy, I'm going to ask you a question, Heshy. I know you're against the gay people. You want them all to die and blow up and
No, God is against them.
Right.
God is against them.
I got you.
God is against
Now, you understand that I'm going to be running for city council. By the way, I'm going to be knocking on your door for money and support. But that's something for the future. But Heshy,
Now I'm going to knock on your door to give you.
you got it. But Heshy, I have a truthful question for you. You know I'm going to run for councilman. What happens when the gay community says, listen, support us, back us, and we'll give you money and support you? What do I do? Do I hold to my boots and say, I don't believe in the gay community at all? Or do I mean, tell me, I'm not asking to be gay.
What does Heshy do?
What does Heshy do?
Okay, first of all, you have to listen to what Rabbi Miller used to say. You have to be a Jew like Avraham Avinu. He stood up against the whole world.
So, but I tell the gay community, stop being gay. What do I tell them?
Were you
You tell them that they got to do tshuva.
Okay.
That's it. Stop
Wait
being
one
gay.
second.
I like
Now,
that. Heshy
we
do
won't
that.
have a problem with them. Well, listen to this. We in Borough Park, Flatbush, and all the other Jewish areas are going to vote for Sanders in the primary.
Oh my God.
In the primary, we're making a massive campaign that we're going to have all ads and all the Jewish media, from the Yid to the Block to the Ami
Not
Mishpacha,
happening.
Hamadiyah.
Why, Heshy?
Every religious Jew is vote for Sanders, April 28th in New York. Why? Because that will make that Trump will win by a landslide.
You don't think Trump can beat Biden?
It's not so simple. There's so many moderate Democrats out
But
there.
there's so many crazy young people that will remember last election, Trump did not win the popular vote. He won the electoral vote. But here's my problem: one little error, too many people voting for coming out for Sanders, and Sanders will beat Trump. In the case of Biden, Biden's going up there saying, "Look, I'm vice president. I know what's going on. I'm 70-something years old, and I'm good." I believe that Trump can beat Biden, and people will see that Biden can beat Trump in a debate. Bernie Sanders doesn't have to be beaten in a debate.
Right.
All he has to get up there and shake his hands and keep
act
screaming
like a fool.
act like a fool,
Yes.
keep screaming the same thing over and over again, and that's good enough.
And he already has the young voters anyway.
No. Well, first of all the local politicians will have a problem. The Democrats, the Congress, they're all going to go flying because they cannot identify with him. Even AIPAC came out against Sanders.
Right, but you keep forgetting that the Congress now, with your AOC idiot lady there, she's telling everybody, and people are backing her, hey, let's spend $93 trillion. Let's not have airplanes anymore. Let's go green. I mean, she's crazy. And a lot of the young people, even in the Bronx, that have nothing to do with this, that need their electricity, that need the cars, they need all this, they won't be able to survive on the green thing, are backing her and supporting her. She's getting a lot of, I hope that she loses the next election. They have somebody decent running up against her.
Somebody.
Now, another important thing about the bags.
I
want you to know that some supermarkets already started in Borough Park, where they're charging for 3 plastic bags 20 cents, and for boxes they're charging 85 cents.
$1.
So you know what
a dollar. What's that place? That bingo place? They charge $1
for a box.
Right, but Bradbury was charging 85 cents.
Okay.
Evergreen gives you a box for free.
Wow, good for them.
Yes.
Well, listen to
But
this.
my question, even the stupid plastic bags, we're still plasticking our hamburgers. We're plasticking our
But all the bottles are plastic. Everything is plastic. The forks, the spoons,
It
the
doesn't,
plates, everything.
it doesn't make sense. What is this stupid law? Again, new legislation to torture us so there can be more money and more. I have no idea on the plastic
This
bag.
was implemented in Israel a long time ago. No more plastic bags in Israel either.
So what do they do?
They have to use reusables. Same thing.
So every time I go shopping, I have to add on another $5 to $10, and if I have a lot of bags, it could be $30 just.
No. Here's the solution. I ordered from Amazon these cloth bags, and you know what I wrote on it? One I wrote "Dumb Democrats," and the other one is "Back to Democrats." Back to Democrats with the R18 big words.
But I want you to know when my wife calls me, says, "Hey, she go pick up a bread or a milk." Now I have to have a bag in the car with me, and you know I'm not going to have a bag in the car with me. It's like my car's full of papers and construction stuff. So I'm going to walk into a stupid supermarket, and I'm going to have to buy another bag for $5.
Yep.
So now my milk for that's $3.29 is going to be ending up being an $8 bag. You know, it's just, and I have no idea. They don't care. And I want you to know these politicians are just stupid. They don't understand. They only know how to implement stupidity without caring about its residents.
Well,
Right now, the cameras with 25 miles an hour. If you get 15 tickets, they take away your car.
right.
They take away no 5 tickets. They tow your car or boot it, and 15. I think you lose your license. You have to
yeah, but that's also for red lights. I think it's 5 and 15 for 25 miles an hour. How can you go 25 miles an hour in Ocean Parkway? It's ridiculous.
Impossible. And you know what? Some of these cameras make mistakes. You know, many years
Exactly.
ago, remember Heshy when they started to implement water meters in the
Right.
early 2000s, late 90s. So a lot of the people, and I know I work with them, were plumbers that were independent people that the DEP gave it out. Half of the plumbers, I promise you, were on drugs. They were stoned. I even had a fight with Union Local 101 that the guy told me that the guys are stoned, and I saw them and they're stealing, and they're putting in meters that are running fast, and people don't know that they're paying more money. And what happens is it's wrong, and there's nothing we can do about it unless you call another company and check it out and pay for it another $1,000 or $2,000. And a lot of these older people and stuff don't have the money or don't do it. Again, you have cameras that are wrong, that are not synchronized well. It's just not fair what they're doing.
Yeah.
The red light cameras, by the way, they take a picture even if you stop at the line.
Not only stop at the line, if there's a cop, I got a ticket. There was a cop moving traffic along. He was so bumper to bumper that I got a ticket making a turn. Why? Because I was in the lane, but the cop told me to go there. And you have to argue and fight it out with them. These are just, it's just
Let me
crazy.
ask you a question, Heshy, the caller. What are you doing for your Passover plans? You plan on staying in town, or you have plans to go away, or are you scared?
Well, I hear a lot of places are backing out.
Right.
There were like a dozen in Italy they're closing down, many of them.
Right. So how do you feel about this? We're just taking a poll of about coronavirus right now.
I was going to travel as well this year, but now I hear they're scrubbing down the planes, which is stupid because you have to keep scrubbing it down. And even when you scrub it down, I was on a plane with somebody wearing a mask this week. I mean, come on. What about the rest of us that are not wearing masks? And you know what? You're scrubbing down cars. They're telling you to scrub down taxis. Come on. The minute you scrub it down, the first guy that sits in there and you know.
They're scrubbing the MTA.
And the MTA, how could you scrub it down when you have a couple of million passengers? So you scrubbed it down. The next minute, the first guy who's in there sick or sleeping there passes the virus on. It doesn't make sense. The stupidity.
Well, you got all homeless. You got all these homeless in the trains anyway.
It's still right.
You're gonna have
all
to
I know
scrub
is the money that you're going to spend on finding a cure for it. Let's get
working.
They're working on it. I hope
vaccine.
But Heshy, I hear in the summertime it's going to maybe end. And this
exactly, it's going to disappear. But you know what? Pesach will all go to your house for the Seder.
I just want you to know, I have 50, 60 people. I usually want to go upstate this year, but this year that I'm fighting with my kids, I think I'm going to make it at home, and my door is always open, whoever wants to come. But Purim, by the way, everybody, which is what day? Tuesday, right?
Yes.
We come by. I'm going to have a little buffet, 4316 17th Avenue. Don't be scared.
A buffet?
I don't care. Not a buffet. I'm going to put out some sandwiches, and I'm going to let Linda cook.
What does she make?
Don't take Linda's chicken cutlets, guys, because she's gonna be angry.
I actually like it. I like it. You gave it to me one time with the bun. It was good. It was good.
Anyways, her mother makes some other stuff, but you could come. I'll have some sandwiches for back.
Hamantashen.
And not the one.
And a drink.
Of course, we'll have soda, liquor, sit on there, and all you have to do is dance a little for me.
All right.
Heshy, I'm expecting you to come by, Heshy, and I'm even gonna give.
Are you gonna have some music? We'll come by.
We're
gonna have a Hasidic rapper.
Oh yeah, we got Alexa now. You ever heard of this? So Alexa, I can play music now. On this week.
Perfect. We'll see you then. What time?
Anytime. My door is open. You can start coming by from like 1 to like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Then I'm gonna have to leave because I have this big event, Heshy, that they're trying to make sure that I polish my act and I'm ready to rock and roll for the election.
Heshy, you are.
Well,
Oh, absolutely.
yes, we'll all vote for you.
Heshy, you are a wonderful
Heshy.
man. I thank you for your call, Heshy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Simchat Purim.
And thanks for your job that you did this week.
Heshy, did I not? These people don't believe me. Did I do great for you?
Yeah, I had this crazy, insane, violation thing, which was like insane. I mean,
And the inspector's
those-
idiot. And did I not save you behind?
of course.
Even though you screamed at me on the phone.
I was screaming on your phone?
No.
I'm telling you to vote for Sanders.
No way.
I love you,
Take
Heshy.
care, Heshy.
Thank you, Heshy.
No Sanders.
Have a good night.
Good night, my brother.
Okay.
Bye.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
He's a good man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
love him.
I mean, I agree with a lot of his opinions. The some of his things a little bit hard on the gay
A
community.
little radical. Yeah.
A little radical. I mean, again, I understand he's a religious man and he follows the Bible and he has his way of thinking, and he's right. And he doesn't want his children to be gay. And he doesn't want to be gay. And he's in tone with good. The man is a good man.
Right.
And I understand what you're thinking because the new generation has a way of thinking stuff.
It's okay. He believes what he believes, but you can't impose it on other people.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Exactly.
Just live and let live for other people.
I love that.
Right.
Anyway,
And so what? Again, let's talk about Corona. What are we all doing for that?
so I know one thing.
Stocking up on Purell.
I know what so they're right. Wash your hands a lot. When you go to the
Yes.
bathroom, don't just think you can walk out and just put your hand a little drip under the sink. Use soap on it. Wash your face. Make sure you shower. If you don't want to shower twice a day, shower once a day, but at least get it going. You guys have to be safe and clean. Take off your clothes. Don't wear it again. Wash it again. I know not everybody could do that all the time, so be careful with it. Etty, let's take a caller.
Sure.
Hello, you're on the here with Heshy Etty and the Hasidic rapper.
Acidic rapper.
Hey, Heshy, I'm really disappointing you tonight.
Oh, gosh, I'm in trouble.
Calling.
This is Vince from Bensonhurst.
Hi, Vince. How are you, my friend?
I'm really disappointing you. You haven't mentioned this blank big law.
We did. We spoke about the bag law.
Well, I didn't hear that, and I'll say one thing. It costs the average family $130 a year, probably. Business owners, it cost them for every 20 people that come into their establishment to buy, cost them $1. And they have to pay the state of New York. I've got some of the sales tax because I got that myself. $1 for every 20 people, and it's unfair to business owners. I'm going to put them in a business.
Yeah.
It is unfair to the population. Jesse, is the government supposed to service us, or we are supposed to service the government?
They're supposed to service us, and they're telling us they keep making new law. Like this stupid bag law. It's really a stupid bag law. You are a very good point that I didn't make. They are going to be hurting business owners. They are going to be people are going to make more orders, deliveries. They're not going to be able to have a lot of walk-in business. Listen, the city of New York keeps changing the rules all the time, and they're just like the tree law that you must have a tree now when you do a certain kind of a job in your house. You must plant a tree in the front of your house, and you have to pay the city for it $1,800, like with regulations on our building codes and our houses.
Yossi, let's
Heshy.
go back to this big thing.
I love you, Yossi. I don't have to be called Yossi, but okay, go ahead.
Here we working people, okay, getting taxed to death, and then they additionally want minimum another $130 a year that goes into the state corpus, all right? And business owners are penalized for being in business to giving a service to the public.
Hey, listen, you know what upsets me? When you're driving, there's a new tax law that's coming around. Then when you drive from uptown New York City to downtown, you're going to have to pay a toll.
Well, you know what? God bless Donald Trump, because Baruch Hashem, Donald Trump, because that is stopped right now temporarily by the federal government. Okay?
Yes.
So that's, maybe you'll
You're
let
right,
it go.
Vince. Yes, he's right.
Yeah.
We were able
Vince,
to
I want to
stop
ask you a
that.
question. We're going to get off that. What do you think of the coronavirus? What is your thing on that?
I think it's hype. It's hype. A lot of it is.
Yeah, because you know what? Even though China has shamed so many people, we have a total of, 5 in New York City, 9 in California, a bunch of about 15 in Washington. Even though Washington State came out with a rule that when you're doing your mail-in ballots, they don't want you to lick it.
Wow.
Yeah, something very interesting
Oh
there.
boy. Transfer through
And
salon.
yeah, I got you. I understand.
You have to make it a point, because you have a broad audience, okay, about here we are slaves to the government. We have to pay, when the government should be for the people. You always mention that. Maybe you don't say in those words.
Absolutely.
I believe it. You know,
For
even when the
people.
police officers come over to you, they have to come and instruct you. They have to give you a warning. They can't pull you over, give you a ticket for making a right turn very slowly. You know, I had one cop that pulled me over because I didn't yield for a pedestrian. I said, "What are you talking about?" I stopped at a red light. There was nobody in the crosswalk. I started turning. Somebody ran into the crosswalk. I stopped.
He ran.
Says, "You should have checked and yielded before." I said, "Really? That's what you're giving me a ticket for?
He ran.
You're not busy with other stuff. You didn't see the whole case."
Yeah.
And it's like you never win with them. They're out to get you, like building inspectors. They come to your building and they say to you, "This is your violation." I said, "Okay, inspector, you're wrong, but how do I correct it? I can't tell you. You have to figure it out yourself." I swear to you, over and over again, I ask each inspector. He says, "I can't tell you what to do because if I tell you what to do, I get in trouble." I said, "But that's the thing. I want to make sure it complies the next time you come back."
But remember, sir, when you run for public office, it's the government is the servant of the people. The people don't serve the government.
I promise you that I will be serving the people. I will be making those commissioners at the building department miserable. And if I can get any one of them fired, I promise you. No, you're laughing. But I know who I want to fire there. I want to know who I want to get rid of. And I'm going to make a commotion like AOC.
Let's start on a simple level with the state here, with the elections coming up, and voting out all these Democrats that voted for this bag law.
Oh, I've been saying let's do a clean sweep vote anyways. Let's clean sweep them all out of office. And not only that, let's vote out the guys who didn't even say anything, like Mr. Yeager and Mr. Deutsch. They're sitting there so busy with other stupidity.
Silence speaks.
Yes, silence is exactly. They're doing nothing. Mr. Yeager gets up. "Oh, you're all anti-Semites." That's what your whole speech is for 3 minutes. I wanted to hear you for 10 minutes screaming at the other people about it. I want you to be screaming why about the marijuana, the marijuana law. And I went to do some research on it this week. Some people were talking to me about marijuana, and they gave me some good points why medicinal marijuana should be legal. So I am on the waiver on that because they gave me some good points. But marijuana to be sold in the corners, marijuana to be legal for crime, no way it's going to work. And what I want you to do, you can't legalize marijuana. Let's make marijuana not illegal, but not legal. That means if you want to plant it in your house and grow 2 plants and smoke it, fine. But the marijuana is for all these people that in the 60s that were young people in the 60s and the 70s. Now they're 65. Yeah, they're the ones pushing it to go through. I still believe marijuana is a gateway drug, should never be sold properly on the street or openly in stores. And I don't care how much money we're going to make, never to be legal. Just don't arrest people if you catch them within the house. If they have too much or they're selling it, we'll have to come up with some ideas.
What do you think about CBD?
So, okay, let me just regress to last week when I called you. Being a Gentile, okay, Max Rose.
Yeah.
Our congressman from, I think, 14th district.
I just saw him on TV this week again. Yeah, I saw him on TV.
Okay.
Idiot.
He refused to march in the St. Patrick's Day parade because they didn't have gay representation. So I hope your listening audience remembers that.
I know. We have people with stupidity that don't want to represent.
And he's anti-Zionist, besides. I can't believe it.
I don't know. Thank you, Vince, for your call. You're a good man. Stay in touch with us.
Stay well.
And keep calling.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep
it up.
Thank you for your call.
See, he's right. Some of these representatives have their own opinions, have their own ideas, and really, like he said, they're representing the people. Right. You can't just do whatever you want. Like AOC. Let's get rid of Amazon. I'm still pissed about that one. $25 billion you blew from not the state, the city of New York. And forget the jobs. And again, and I don't even mind that she beat us, but then why didn't my representatives like Kalman Yeager, Simcha Felder, Chaim Deutsch, why didn't you go out there and say, listen, okay, she doesn't want it there, come to Brooklyn where we could use it. Come take care of us.
Idea.
No, nothing of that nature. Another caller? Okay. Hello, you're on there with Heshy Etienne. They was Hasidic rapper.
Yeah, hi, Robbie from Manhattan calling. How are you?
Hello, Avi. How are you?
How are you?
Thank God. I want to wish everybody an adorable Ador.
Amen.
Yes,
Thank you.
Happy Purim to all of you.
Happy.
Okay, that's number one. I heard it from a friend of mine that the Rochelle Monis idea going around, it might not sound too good,
Let's hear.
It's definitely for the times. They're giving Corona beer and tiny fortune cookies.
Okay. Wow.
And
Okay.
a little bottle of Purell, huh?
Also, but the Corona beer.
And a box of gloves.
Beer. Right, I wonder if Corona beer is doing better or worse than this Corona.
I don't know. They make fun of the jokes to Corona. You know what? And you know what? The spread, I don't see the spreading in the United States. I know we have it contained. I know we're watching. But again, it's a bad thing, the Corona thing, but don't jump to conclusions. People, take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Take care of yourself. At nighttime, keep the window closed. Put the heat on a little bit higher because I heard the heat kills the disease. The summer kills the disease. That's what I heard. When you are confined to the house, they're saying that the heat, it's not the cool weather that kills it.
It's the heat inside the homes.
Right.
Yes.
The cool weather keeps it alive, but just doesn't let it mutate even more. But again, when they're quarantining people, they're quarantining them in warm locations where this disease could eat itself out and die.
Wow.
So guys, keep yourself clean.
Right.
Wipe down the counters after you.
Yes. Don't touch your face often.
Right. Put the sinks, when you put the dishes in the sink, wash them. Get rid of your garbage. Don't let I know it's a little expensive to use the garbage bags over and over again. Garbage bags. Isn't that illegal?
I use plastic bags from the grocery.
And you know what? You know what?
Garbage bags.
Those plastic bags from the grocery, I do use it for my office cans, my house cans, not for the big ones. No reason for it to be going to garbage. But again, our city of New York.
Let's ask Avi. Avi, any Passover plans? Are you canceling? Are you going?
Well, let me tell you something. I just came back from Israel yesterday. And let me tell you, I went by Istanbul. And let me tell you something, that on the plane leaving from Israel to Istanbul, the plane was empty. Just about empty. And they were giving out forms that we have to fill out. But it's funny, when I went from Istanbul to JFK, the plane was packed with a mob. Unbelievable. People were wearing masks, and people on the other hand were coughing and sneezing. It sounded like an orchestra, coughing and sneezing.
Wow.
And I'm just wondering why this thing, why is it that the flight from Tel Aviv to Istanbul had more of a strict type of aura about it, that the administration of that flight was more on top of it. And meanwhile, on the flight going from Istanbul to JFK, it was like such a chaos. It was so lackadaisical.
Because Israel's practicing really good right now.
No, I'm talking, this is Turkish Air.
It was coming from Israel, so they had to follow their protocols. Israel's protocols.
Yes, but from Istanbul, it's funny, they have signs all over Istanbul, the airport, whatever, people wearing masks. But on the flight itself, yes, there were people wearing masks, but the lady sitting next to me, she was coughing. I said,
Listen, you're a healthy man. Make sure when you sick, if you guys get a little sick, don't go out of your house. I know that, like, even me, sometimes I think I'm so much of a man. Oh, I have a little fever. Oh, I'm a little cold, but I got to get to work. Guys, take the day off. I know I can't, but still, I'm going to start considering that if I'm a little bit under the weather, back off, because I don't want, because usually the underlying problem is the one that really gets you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, 2 points real quickly. They asked me a question, like, my Pesach plans. I'm going back to the show. All right, the Corona here. I'm going back.
How come I didn't hear any Corona cases in Israel?
There is.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you talking about? The Israeli government is not letting people go. They say stay home. Yeah. And Italy, what a quarantine on. Italy, one guy said to me, "You came from Italy? Oh, Italy, get away from me. I'm kicking around. But
Israel had to quarantine a whole yeshiva.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I heard they closed all schools in Italy, right? Somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
Heshy, you serving Corona beer at your Suda?
No, we don't. I don't like liquor in my house at all, but I am going to put out a few bottles of liquor for the older guys. Usually we don't give out. No
Budweiser?
No Corona beer, no Budweiser. Have some club soda, Diet Coke, water, lemonade.
You got Chinese fortune
By the way, the lemonade is not too good. By the way, the lemonade's not too good. Linda doesn't put in enough lemons.
Well,
she doesn't. She's stingy.
Well, then you got to have some beer.
Use my diet sodas. That's good enough.
Chinese fortune cookies, please make sure.
I don't know, my brother. I just want you to come and have a good time and enjoy the day. That's it.
Hey,
I was thinking of going to Israel, but
Welcome,
now with all
Javi.
these problems, happy Purim, my friend.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
All the best. Thank you.
See,
Bye-bye.
that's interesting, but he's right. You know, a lot of these other countries, from like the Dominican Republic. Somebody was telling me this week, they have the worst a TSA when you leave the country. That you could put your luggage on without being asked anything, but before you get on the plane, did you get anything from anybody? So the plane already has stuff on it. You know what I mean? They're the worst, and they keep you online, and they don't know what they're doing. We train, we retrain.
Right.
I want to ask you a question. If I do anything wrong, or if I have a fight with somebody, like the bus driver or something like that, immediately I go to jail. If I threaten somebody, I go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an embattled New York police commander facing disciplinary charges. He, the deputy inspector Emmanuel Gonzalez, who in 2018 was accused of threatening the rapper 50 Cent's life. I understand. Why is he being punished or suspended? Why isn't he being fired? You actually threatened somebody's life and you're a police officer. You're not a normal thing.
But what's the story behind the story?
He just threatened his life because he's a tough guy. And, again, a police officer has no right to do something like that.
No, of course not.
Like now, we had another police officer that committed suicide recently. Again, why aren't you watching these police officers, giving them more tests? I understand that if they're sick, they shouldn't be allowed to be police officers or carry guns. I understand they have issues. But again, you're jeopardizing our lives, and one of them has to flip out. One wife has to scream with a gun. We have it all the time, and it's not a normal thing.
You're right. Things have to change.
What about the BB gun? He threatened.
Oh, you heard about that one?
Yeah.
There was a guy.
That is terrible.
I just want you to know, our listeners are not going to like this. Here's the deal. There was a guy who was terrorizing a Brooklyn block from a rooftop with a BB gun, and he was criminally charged, but he was let go.
Why?
He was let go with no bail, and he was just given a summons and ordering to face criminal charges to come back.
And who's paying for their windows?
Oh my God, Eddie's going to be screaming right now. Oh my God, you let the guy go without and you're shooting people with a BB gun.
That could cause a lot of damage. A BB gun.
He could have got killed by the police.
I know.
That's a lot of things could have happened.
Right. I don't know.
What else is in the news?
Well, we have a lot of other things to tell you about. There was 50-year-old what was it? A 50-year-old
the attorney from Westchester.
Westchester.
Yes. He's doing better.
He's doing better. Yes. And what about the guy from New Rochelle? Just a guy who meets a lot of people, a guy from New Rochelle, and he got the virus and he's spreading it. They said they're trying to find out all the people he's in touch with.
No, isn't this the same person?
I don't think so. I think it's somebody different. It's the same person.
I believe it's
there was
the same.
The guy who had the two kids.
He's an attorney.
He is an attorney. It's the same guy.
He flew. Yeah, he flew from Israel and Miami recently, and he came down with the corona. And now he and everyone who prayed at his temple, they all have to be quarantined.
I heard that.
Right, that's 600 people.
And the people they're saying in New Rochelle, a lot of the business owners are saying when you order food, he's a Chinese guy. We are not embarrassed that you ring the bell and you leave it at the front door and order it on credit card.
People are scared. People are afraid. They don't know what to believe anymore.
Just
and they're getting so many different reports.
I heard this guy from New Rochelle has an underlying health problem as well.
Yes, he did. Okay. And he was, at first, it was very tricky, but now they're saying he's doing better. Thank God.
Okay.
Thank God.
Prayers for good health for him. Yes.
Well, I don't know.
Man.
And then again, they're scrubbing down a building in Lexington Avenue. How do you scrub down a building? Every day, because I can barely scrub down my office building once a week with a maid. Now you're going to scrub it down every day?
It's a false sense of hope is what it is, or false sense of security, rather. People are hoping. Maybe that's the secret.
Well, at the bottom line, I'm going to the polls. You're going to, I'm going to vote Democrat only because I want to vote. I have to go there.
You could change your position.
Right, Mickey Mouse?
No, you could change your party, your affiliation.
Yeah, but if I change my party, then I won't be able to run as a Democrat.
Okay.
So changing back and forth.
Well, for the purpose of the presidential election, I would change and then switch back.
I just don't want my vote to be wasted voting for Warren or voting for Buttigieg. That's
going to be wasted.
I know. So I have to pick somebody that I want. So the Democrats are voting for people that want to beat Trump, and I'm going to be voting for somebody that I want Trump to beat. Isn't that foolish?
That's great. It is. It is upside down. But if it's going to get what you need, being Trump coming back, into office for another 4 years, then maybe it's worth
I
it.
don't know. See, some of the things just don't make sense. There's not a good system, and they have it all implemented for the guys who are higher on the up, higher up on the total. Yeah, and I don't know what to do about it.
Well,
anyways,
right now though, we're dealing with a really bad situation, a pandemic, they say, that's going on. So we have to watch ourselves with that. The election.
Is there a pandemic?
I don't think so. I don't think
you
it's
have it
to
in
that
China.
level.
I know Italy.
Right.
I didn't hear much in Spain.
Iran.
Why? How did Iran get it?
Could be China and Iran were working on something together.
Right. Because now that we have Iran that's embargoed all over the place, China is buying all this stuff because they don't have to follow any rules or because America did it. But why is that? I mean, America is their partner, but again, we're scared of China.
We're scared because they hold so much. They make all of our products. They do everything for us. Even all our vitamins come from there. Our medications are coming from China.
So I don't understand.
Everything.
Now that they're shut down, by the way, that school in New Rochelle was closed, I heard.
Yeah.
They closed down a whole school upstate because of it.
Yeah. It's
I don't know, man.
Scary thing just from this one virus, what it's doing.
Well, we had the SARS. We always have something.
We had H1N1.
What's H1N1? I don't
there
know.
was
I heard something.
That was even more deaths from that one than this one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And it didn't affect the stock market.
No one said boo because we had a Democratic leader in office at that time. Now we have Trump, and of course now there's noise.
Okay, and they're saying Trump didn't move quick enough on it.
I think he could have moved quicker than he did.
Right. And he set up a special committee. And you know what happens? This idiot Pelosi gets on television. I don't think Mike Pence is qualified. I mean, I understand, idiot. They put somebody in charge. You for sure not qualified, Pelosi, for anything.
Right.
And all she knows is how to complain. Everything they does. I can't wait for the guy who runs against her beats her. We're so good to get rid of Pelosi once and for all.
I think it's time. She's already seen her days in
politics. 50 years, 40 years in politics, Shama.
Too much.
Right, and they're not getting anything done. Right. They're really not getting anything done. We see, but again, the Democrats, and I blame myself as well. We keep electing them. We keep thinking they're normal. And you know what, Mr. Obama finally, I think congratulated Biden on his win. I'm not sure, but he congratulated him, but didn't endorse him.
Yeah,
I understand not picking a candidate to the last minute, but and especially when your candidate, when the Democratic guy gets nominated, sure you're gonna endorse him against the Republican side. But this guy Biden was your partner for 8 years. The guy stood behind it really because of Biden. I believe Barack Obama got elected because he was able to pick somebody qualified to be vice president.
Right.
And here we go again. The man has no loyalty. He is just
Obama.
Yeah. Now, I want to go back to Harvey Weinstein, finally, at the end.
Oh, okay.
So you're right. Harvey Weinstein's a bad guy. He's going to be getting who knows how many years in jail, 50 years in jail for this rape that I don't believe even happened.
Right.
But here's my problem that I have with Harvey Weinstein. They showed a video clip on WhatsApp. Michelle Obama thanked him. Every actress on stage for Oscars, like 7 or 8 Oscars, went up there, like about 3 or 4 of them, thanking him. What kind of a good man, and men telling him he's brother, they love him. All of a sudden, they abandon him like you've never seen before. And I said, all these famous actresses that he gave big parts to, he didn't rape, he didn't molest, he only did it to certain ones. Is that the way it works?
They say they knew what they were getting into. I don't know.
No, but why didn't he get all the big time actresses?
True.
The ones that who got Oscars, that he gave them big time parts, paid them money. I mean, if you pay somebody $1 million, you don't think they'll sleep with you?
I wouldn't know. Look, needless to say, he was up to no good, though. And so on some level,
was it no good? There's a lot
of
guys out there that are playboys.
Right.
How come you don't go after them?
True, but these women have loud voices, and that's it.
They just picked on him so they can sue him and get some of his money.
Who knows
they got
what
a
it
good
is?
deal.
Hopefully, the truth will prevail.
Well, he's found guilty. It's too late. Just like Roger Stone, they got him for lying to Congress on
something they created.
And now they created. Trump was found not guilty, so the underlying sin doesn't even exist.
Right.
So what did he lie about? Nothing.
Right. Because there was no Russia collusion.
So they gave him from 9 years to 3 years. I'm hoping
hopefully he'll get a pardon.
I'm hoping. But he is appealing, and they might let him get away with. Harvey Weinstein, they kept in jail during the appeal, which again, appeal is a proper due process, and you have no right. You're allowed to let the guy stay on bail while he appeals. But again, You're doing for the public. Some of these judges, especially in New York City, are a bunch of idiots. They don't belong there. They're there for 10-year periods, and then 65 years old, they have to retire. So you know what happens? The good judges that who kiss the Democratic parties behind, they get promoted to the federal level.
Right.
And what happens is they get to keep their job forever.
And that's so not fair. There should be term limits.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Chamula Jewelers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Titi Styles. Thank you, Fallon's. Thank you, Green Line, of course. Happy holiday. Everybody, listen to our show. We'll be back next week, and we'll have more to say.
Don't
and I'm
drink
hoping
and drive.
this coronavirus ends once and for all by next Wednesday.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody.
Amen.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
The preceding program